But you saw there's multiple reasons we're using it. If you're giving it to a person for them to understand why they were created, then use this chart. If you're giving it to them to fix a problem in this world, then for Leo, use Vedana. And for Scorpio, use Dushaneshwar. We switch them.
So for worldly
related issues. Then Sagittarius, we have Vishwanath, the Lord of everything, Vishwa. What planet, according to some, gets exalted in Sagittarius? Ketu. What's Ketu give us? Moksha. Do you know where Vishwanath is?
No.
In India? Varanasi.
Oh.
Why do people go to Varanasi?
Oh, because that's where they go get moksha.
They go to die there, right?
Oh,
So they
right.
can get moksha. Are they going to Varanasi or are they actually going to Vishwanath?
Seems like they would be going to Vishwanath.
They're going to Vishwanath. The Ganga, they say, gets its power to liberate you because it goes by Vishwanath. Because it's flowing over Vishwanath, it can give you liberation.
So the Ganga before it gets to Varanasi.
It's still the whole Ganga.
Oh, yeah.
The whole Ganga. But particularly they go to Vishwanath to get that liberation, that moksha. Make sense, Mo? Capricorn is Bhima Shankar. Who's Bhima?
He's a fighter? A warrior?
Fighter, warrior. Who gets exalted in Capricorn?
Lord of warriors.
Lord of warriors, Mars. Aquarius, we have Kedarnath. Kedarnath is it's an ice lingam, way up in the Himalayas. I haven't been there yet. We should go to Kedarnath one of these days. Huh? Which one? Oh, Badrinath is the ice lingam.
No, it's this one in Kashmir.
But-
Amarnath.
Okay, but it's up there. It's in snow. It's in cold. It's in the heights.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can only get there maybe 2 months out of the year.
Yeah, it was a short season.
The rest of the time, you can't get there. It's Badak,
Oh,
Aquarius.
right.
Yeah.
And for, huh?
Yeah.
It's the truth, right?
Appropriate.
And for Pisces, it's Triambakeshwar. And so for Pisces is the mantra, Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. It's working primarily with this Jyotir-Linga of Pisces. And who gets exalted in Pisces? Venus. So when we have Venus-related problems or a Pisces-related problem, we're using Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam because it's activating this Jyotir-Linga. And that's the mantra. Okay. So let's look at Tithis. Who knows the percent? Who has their chart that has percent of what the Tithi is? Now, if you use Sri Jyoti Star next to the Tithi gives you a percentage, a percent number. That's the percent that it's gone through so far. In Jehora, it gives you the percent less. So you have to actually subtract it from 100 first.
Percent left.
Is that Jehora?
This is Sri Jyoti Star.
The Sri Jyoti Star? That's just the percent it's gone so far.
Okay.
So that you don't need to do anything. For Jehora, you need to subtract it from 100 first and use that. So whose chart we have here?
It's right now.
Right now. Throw up Mo's chart. And so what we do is we take the Tithi and we divide the Tithi into 12 parts. Each part of that Tithi relates to one of the 12 signs. How many degrees is a tithi?
12.
12. So every 12 degrees is a different lunar phase, Vedically. A lunar phase is 12. And so we have 15 tithis to the full moon and 15 tithis down.
I'll have to do James because I don't have those.
We do.
It's not.
We looked at it last week.
We looked at it last week.
I would be there, but it's not.
Okay, throw up James. And
Is it the right year, James? That's always
Yeah.
been okay.
1960, March 7th.
Yeah.
And so she's born Shukla Dashami, and we see 13.17 left. So let's subtract that from 100, and we have, who's quick math?
That's 80.
87.
87 point.
6 and change.
And if we look, throw up our chart with the percentages. And if we divide the sign into 12, then that percent throws us into Aquarius. Okay? So Kedarnath. Everybody see that? So go back to her chart. Let's look at the, so that's the 6th house, right, in her chart. She's a Virgo Lagna, and it's the 6th house. What do we see in the 6th house? Sun and Mercury. So it's 6th house, Sun and Mercury. What's the purpose that God created her for? God and Goddess. Specifically. Service and Sun and Mercury. You look at the planet there and the house it's connected to, and the everything. You look at the sign. It's Aquarius. Aquarius is obstacles. Sun and Mercury, Buddha Ditya Yoga. It's about knowledge, information, learning, teaching. Right? 6th house, service. So she's in a service position, helping, doing education, helping people overcome obstacles. And you work, Jane, with little kids, doing what with them? Just teaching them.
You know, developmental stuff.
Developmental stuff.
But I
in
also,
children.
you know, I use my knowledge of healing just in my life. It's a thing.
So it's also 6th house, which is healing.
Yeah.
Sun and Mercury is also herbs and medicine.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Mhm.
Do a lot of herbology and medicine.
So can you see why she's, you know, there we have, that's the purpose. That's why you're here. That's why God and Goddess manifested you. Yeah. Unfortunately, not everybody is aware of that point in their chart. Do you see how it just, how that, we could look and you could just say, well, the Lugna Lord's gone to the 6th and it's making that happen. That's just what she's going to do. But does it mean that that's what her soul is going to be fulfilled doing?
No.
That's the difference.
Oh,
So that's why you have someone who's just suffering throughout their lifetime because they're just not matched up.
Or not understand, yeah, things have to align. And the great thing is, it's also her son.
It's her Atmakaraka too.
It's her Atmakaraka, is it?
Mercury's her Atmakaraka.
Oh.
So it's even
Nice.
more.
You see, if the Tithi Jyotir-Lingam lines up either with the sun, if it lines up with the sun, then the person's natural Atma and purpose and their physical creation start lining up. When it lines up with the Atma, then their own inner essence and what God and Goddess wanted are lining up. Here she's got both happening. So there's a nice alignment happening. When those things start being 6-8 relationship, we can see that there's some conflict in why a person was created, what they think they want to do, what they're actually doing, what they're physically able to do, you know. The more those things can line up, the more things flow. So we see it's a beautiful combination there, right?
So can we remedy those 6/8s?
Possible. If there's a planet giving some bandha between those 6 and 8s, then it's possible to remedy. So for 6/8 of Libra and Taurus, it's easy. Venus gives the sambandha.
Right.
For other ones, you got to see, is there a planet aspecting both? Or is the planet lording one aspecting the other? Some sambandha. The stronger the sambandha, the easier it is to rectify. If there's no sambandha whatsoever, which happens, then
Sorry.
then
Next lifetime.
then you'll have to figure out a different way, a different method. Somebody has to lose. Somebody has to give in. You know? So if, for example, Jupiter is two people, anyway, let's stay focused. So let's do another chart. So actually, let's look here. So we can see her Atma. If we wanted to exalt her Atma, how would we do it? Her Atma Karaka is Mercury.
So,
Malika Arjuna. Okay. If we wanted to purify her soul, how are we going to do it? Karakamsha sign.
Oh, Karakamsha sign. Oh, Nageshwar.
Is so Mercury is in what sign?
So it's Nageshwar. Gemini and Navamsa.
Nageshwar.
Okay, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't even see. Okay, Nageshwar. Okay, no, not Gemini. No, we take the Lord of it.
It's in its own sign.
It's in its own sign. We take the Lord of that sign and exalt it. So we take Mercury. And so again, Malika Arjuna.
Oh.
Oh, you don't
So
take the
we-
Karakamsha?
No, not the exact sign.
Oh, so we take the sign for the exaltation of the
Oh.
Atmakaraka.
Of the Karakamsha.
Oh, of the Karakamsha.
So it's exaltation of the Karakamsha sign?
Yeah. When you say Karakamsha, you actually mean the sign that the Atmakaraka is in.
So the exaltation of that sign,
Of the Lord.
of the Lord of that sign, which happens to be,
That's purifying the Atma.
so, yeah, it would be Virgo for that one.
Malika Arjuna.
That becomes clear for her.
Exaltation
That's why I
of
wanted
the
to go
Lord.
through an example. So, wow, she does some Malika Arjuna worship.
So she just needs to just pour the water over the Shiva Lingam. Right? Or a few
She
flowers.
can, if she makes it to India, she should definitely go and visit the Malika Arjuna Shiva Lingam. Otherwise, when she worships the Shiva Lingam, pouring the water over, she does the Malika Arjuna mantra, which we'll talk about in a minute. The different levels of the mantra. But wow, Malika Arjuna is a good mantra for you. Huh?
Where is it?
Yeah, where is it?
I think it's in central western India. Central eastern India, actually. If I'm correct.
I'm sure there's
Do you
a
know where?
website. There's a website with all those.
Can you go to my website?
I'll search. Yeah.
And on the Jyotir section, look in Jyotir-Lingams, and then there's a link from there to a map. Do we want to do one more chart?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's in the class do we have there that's here today? Let's do a Jaya.
Let's do a Jaya. I don't know why I've been such a aimless soul.
But have you been? Because look at all this that you've been studying, all the Vedas and the Sanskrit. You do so much.
Yeah, that's true.
Is this all right in
Yeah.
Okay, break. Somebody remind me to get my glasses.
there?
I'm there.
Oh wow, that is kind of interesting.
So Tithi, we see is 40.33 left. Change that from 100.
That's
Where is it?
60.66. Huh? Somewhere on that page.
That's the Jyotir-Linga page.
Somewhere. It should have a link. Click on one of the pictures or something. I don't know. There used to be.
I made it bigger.
I still need my glasses. So what do we have? We have 60,
59.77.
59.77. And give us the chart.
6, 7.
And this chart's on my website under Jyotir-Lingam. The percentages.
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
You're going to switch with the...
No, for Tithi. For Tithi though.
For the Tithi?
For the Tithi
Right,
Lingam,
worship Scorpio.
we worship Vaidyanatha.
The Tithi.
So that shows...
Okay. Well, just
Okay.
so from a general level, Vaidyanatha is the doctor. It's the healer.
Mm.
It's working with people, getting sick and healing, dying, disease, transformation of disease, medicines. Let's go to, this is his chart. And so we look at Scorpio there. And Scorpio is his 9th house. And is there there's
Sun.
what? Sun there. So we see Sun in the 9th house. What's Sun in the 9th house?
Religion.
Religion. What kind of religion?
Sun-based,
Traditional religion.
solar-based,
Traditional religion? Well, what's solar-based mean?
worship on Sundays.
Oh, come on. What does the sun believe?
Sunday morning, go to meeting.
What's the sun believe? What type of scriptures does the sun use?
The Bible.
The Bible on a Christian level.
Of the Vedas.
It uses the Vedas and the Gita.
The Vedas and the Gita.
Primarily, think about the teachings of the Gita. The Gita is about unattachment to the gunas, transcending the gunas. It's all about knowing the Atma and working from the level of the Atma unattached. So, going into that spiritual path and manifesting that reality and manifesting, it's that traditional, it's not, I don't want to say traditional, it's official. Official. Because Saturn's traditional.
Oh, right.
Sun is more the official. Okay, because if you're in a country and like the Vedas have become illegal and the official thing is the Bible, then it's going to be the Bible. The Sun's the official. The official text to use. And for us, the official is Parashara. Vedically, it's the Vedas. In Vajrayana, official, depending on your lineage, those official texts. It's going to be utilizing them and mastering them. So, very spiritual there, right? So that spiritual path is really, and manifesting that and perfecting that, and really coming to, when the sun's there, really becoming a king in that area. That's the purpose that God and Goddess had in mind when they created you. And it's also the sun there. So we have a physical alignment happening with that. A spiritual alignment happening with that. So your spiritual path is not taking you away from that. It's perfectly aligned with that. And Atmakaraka is what?
It's Rahu and it's in Aries, 3rd house in the Varsha.
And let's look first just in the Rashi, where it is from there.
From there it's
Well,
6.
so there is a 6-8 situation
for
going
both
on.
So we have a 6-8 situation.
It's for both.
Well, and there's a Karaka replacement. So when I'm 42, we'll
Charaka, who replaces?
Rahu and the Sun.
Oh my gosh! So
wow.
42. How old are you now?
30. I'm 39.
42, man. You see, right now there's the
It's a conflict
right now is the conflict.
Wow.
When the Charakaraka replacement, the Atma, that Rahu, is just like cleansed. It's out of there. The sun is in place, and it's like fully following that path.
Wow, now I know why I'm so confused.
So my prediction at that time, you'll become Jyotish Guru.
Maybe it's true.
Jyotish Guru or something along that line.
And something like
Something along that line.
something
Official.
official.
Something official, teaching and really able to fully be giving. Because that's the house of the teacher.
Yeah, makes sense.
So your son is going to become Atmakar.
Yeah.
At that time.
How did you figure out the age though, the 42?
Rahu is the 42.
Rahu. That's
Matures at
Maturity.
that's
What is the 42?
another class. Okay.
Well, because we talked about between 25 and
Yes,
and
Charakaraka.
35 or 36 for your
21 and 30.
or 21.
Yes,
Because the
Charakaraka
sun-
replacement.
Yeah, because the sun and Saturn.
Does he have a
conjoin.
Charakaraka replacement?
The sun and Saturn are totally conjoined.
For him? Yeah. Okay. And then we look, let's do one more thing. How do we purify his Atma?
Look at the sign, the Karkamsha.
Earth exalted.
And so it's Rahu now, right? Is that going to change when he has the Charakaraka replacement?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would do
No.
different.
No?
No, why not?
For even the Charakaraka replacement, we still use the root, just like Upapada for fasting. What his soul wants in reality will shift, his vision, the things around him in life will shift, but when it comes time, it's kind of like when you graft the tree, like maybe like certain roses, they grow the big strong roses and then they put the pretty ones, they graft them to it. That way they have a strong base. That's the Atmakarka replacement. So when it comes to fertilize, we're not fertilizing that little flower they put on. We're fertilizing that original root base. So who is it for purifying the Atma?
Well, no. It would be
It's-
Bhima Shankar.
Bhima Shankar, because it's in Aries.
So how do we
The
say
exaltation of Mars.
Bhima Shankar
But Rahu was
Shwaraya?
Atmakarka.
Yeah, but it's in Aries. The Atmakarka is Rahu, placed in Karakamsha Aries.
So the Lord of Aries.
The Lord of Aries.
Okay.
So is that how we do that? Where we
The Atmakarka planet was your Karakamsha from your last life.
oh
Now, if you don't purify Mars in your next life, Mars will be your Atmakarka. In her chart, her next life, Mercury will be Atmakarka. But Mercury is in this life too, right?
Yeah.
So it's showing she's just, if she doesn't purify that Atma, she's setting herself up to be a Mercury Atmakarka in the next life as well. You're going to leave Rahu and enter Mars if you don't purify. Okay?
so I need to go Bhima Shankar Shwaraya.
When it comes time to purify the Atma. When you're worried about sustaining a house and paying the bills, it's not the time to do that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. When the time comes
I'll
to
be there in the
purify.
park with my little like spoon.
Let me make sure I understand this. If you don't purify that Atmakarka in this lifetime, then
The
your
Karakamsha.
The Karakamsha, then your next lifetime, the Karakamsha Lord, the Lord of that sign will become your Atmakarka.
That's the concept.
Okay, but you're going to have an Atmakarka in your next lifetime, right? So what's the difference?
If you totally purify that and your Ishta is strong and you worship properly, then maybe you don't come back at all. Have no more charge.
Okay.
What if it gets better? What if your Atmakarka is Mars now and then you get Jupiter if you don't purify him?
Yeah, well, no. Think about, basically it's telling us this, there's Mars. Maybe he doesn't 100% purify it, but at least if he partially purifies it, that sets him up for a much better situation next time
A
around.
much better AK for Mars.
Yeah. I have a curse. I have a curse Atmakarka.
Right.
When you have a curse Atmakarka, you can't shake the curse. It's on your soul. It's not on your body. It's
Right.
not easy to be removed. So at least whatever curse he's cleansing it. So yeah, the Atmakarka is the king of the chart, the king. So we want the king. The better the king is, the better everything's going to happen. The soul is king. Atmakarka means the soul.
So we purify the Atmakarka by worshiping
The Karakamsha.
the Karakamsha Lord.
The sins that we're working with in this life.
It's the Lord of exaltation in the Karakamsha.
And if we want him to get a better job, do Dashamsha. We want him to get a better job. What sign? What lingam?
I can't see from here. So the
Triangle.
fifth house of his D10.
So we need to go Triambakeshwar,
Triambakeshwar?
What are we looking at?
Triambakeshwaraya.
Yeah. So that Mrityunjaya mantra is going to really energize your job reality.
Mrityunjaya.
But you got to get a job, and then it makes you upgrade in your job. It doesn't make a job come out of nowhere.
Oh, well, I mean, I've got a couple of jobs.
Okay.
But
But that Mrityunjaya mantra is going to help upgrade because of that. Okay. So we got the general idea of why we're going to use it. Other situation is Marna Karkastana planet. Who in here has Marna Karkastana planet? Okay. Do we have Gales easy access? What do you got Marna Karkastana? Venus.
Venus and Scorpio. In 6th house.
Is it this one? No.
Marna Karkastana. You ready for this, new people? Marna means dying. Karka means the indications of the planet. Stana means the house, the place it's in. So it's the place that planet's dying. That the significations indicated by that planet are dying, suffering. What do we have? Sun, 12th house. Moon,
8th house.
Mars,
7.
7.
Mercury,
7.
2.
2.
7 and 4.
Oh,
7 and
it's
4.
Make sure you're writing this down. Marna Karkastani. You should know these if you don't know them. Then we have Jupiter,
Jupiter third.
Jupiter in 3rd.
third.
Saturn
Venus,
In the 6th.
Venus sixth. Saturn.
Saturn,
In
First.
the 1st.
first. Rahu,
Rahu. Rahu in the 9th house.
and
Uh,
Ketu.
2nd house.
Okay. Would she have Marna Karkastana?
Is 8 a.m. right here?
No, it's...
I'm going to use the bathroom. That's one
no,
of the
that's
new.
18, 10, 11, that's right.
Oh.
Where's sun?
Well, would she have
Oh.
Marna Karkastana?
She's got Venus.
Venus.
Venus, yeah.
Throw up. Give me another Marna Karkastana chart.
Go to the
And
D10.
let's have Mo figure it out.
Go to my D10.
Okay.
You get 3 MKS.
Oh, she's
Oh.
got. Oh, right. Well, and you got
Sun-
Saturn in the 1st and in the month too.
Yeah, that too.
There's
God,
the
sucks.
D10.
Oh, I got 2 actually. Jupiter's in the 3rd in the month. So.
Where's Mars?
7.
Wait, I'll
Seven.
go.
So what are we looking at? Her D10.
Yeah, but
Mars in the 7th house.
Mars
Oh wait, no, that was somebody else's chart.
No,
Oh,
that's it.
Mars in the 7th house
yeah.
and Moon in the 8th
Moon
house.
in the 8th, rising in the 7th. Ra. Mercury. Jupiter.
Good guy.
Now, do we look at this always from Luggan? Or if you could look at it from any point, right? Around it?
It changes how you look at it. Primarily, it's from Lugna. You can look at a house from a house. So we don't have your chart. You have,
Let's just put it
type in this chart again.
Well, Saturn in the 5th is Marna Karkastana for children.
It's
Exactly.
July 29th,
Mm.
1976. 22, 25. And it's in Montreal.
How do you worship the Jyotir-Linga then? Is it a
We're getting
one-time deal?
We're getting there.
Oh, you are? Okay.
It'll depend.
Okay.
I mean, your Tithi Jyotir-Linga, you can do 40 days or until you realize why you're here. I mean, somebody like Jane, she'd do it 1 week and all of a sudden she'd have great revelation. Someone else
Right.
like Ajaya that has that 6-8 relationship with the Atmakarka. So what his Atma wants and what his purpose for being created